July 15th, 60%, 6:33 p.m. We're going to be doing the July update for the Blackberry Priv, whatever you want to call the thing, like I've been saying for the last year and however long. So let me start the sucker up first, and then we'll go from there. Where is it? Update available. Yep, that was good. Update available. Then, as usual, I'm going to ramble on and just talk forever. How big is this thing? Let's go to the bottom. 140. No, only 14 meg. This is just a tiny little security update. Very small. This probably won't take more than a couple minutes. So I'm going to be talking way past when this thing is finished. I'm going to click on the download. And what do I want to say? I've been looking online. There are lots of complaints from people who have the newer Blackberries, the DTEC 50, the 60. I guess there's something called the Key One. I don't know what the Key One is, but there is a Key One. And people are saying they don't have their May updates. They don't have their June updates. They never got any updates. They're contacting the BlackBerry people on the internet, and instead of coming out with a direct link or a reply, they're telling them to do private messages, which is kind of very strange. Sorry, got some water here. So I've got some updates, some info on what the updating is, and let me get through that, and then I'll ramble on. What is in this thing? There's a lot of stuff. Remote code execution and Android runtime. What do we have? Elevation of privilege and Android framework. Elevation of privilege and Android framework. Elevation of privilege in Android framework. In Android framework. Information disclosure and framework. Information and Android framework. Denial of service and Android framework. Denial of service and ASN1 parsing. Trying to look at more than one thing at once, and I'm losing my place. Remote code execution and media server. Remote code execution and media server. Elevation of privilege and media server. We're still doing the update. Wow. Elevation of privilege and media server. Remote code execution and media server. Remote code execution, media server. Remote code execution, media server. Media server. Media server. Media server in Tremolo. Elevation of privilege and soft AVC encoder. Denial of service in media server. Same thing in media server. Same thing media server. Same thing media server. God, look at this. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these denial of service in media server. Information disclosure in media server twice. Elevation of privilege and system UI. Remote code execution and Broadcom component. Elevation of privilege and Broadcom component. 2 times elevation of privilege and kernel network subsystem. Oh, sorry. You're looking at a black screen while I'm rambling. That's not a good video. Denial of service and kernel networking subsystem. Elevation of privilege and kernel SCSI SCSI driver. Elevation of privilege and kernel TCB. I think I just saw something out of the corner of my eye. Restart. Wow, okay, so that really didn't take long. As I told you, I didn't think it would. So you can see it's doing its little update thing. Elevation of privilege and TCB. Elevation of privilege and kernel networking driver. Information disclosure and kernel file system. Elevation of privilege and camera driver. Elevation of privilege and GPU driver in Ashman. In bootloader, in USB HD driver, in SoC driver, in sound driver, in Wi-Fi driver, in SoC driver, in camera driver, in camera driver, in video driver, and camera driver, in Wi-Fi driver. Unbelievable. Video driver, information disclosure, and camera driver. Okay, it's still doing a little updating thing. So this probably isn't going to go through all the modules like it normally does, the 38 or the 41 or whatever it is. Information disclosure and camera driver and information disclosure and IPA driver. So this whole thing is just nothing but little security updates. Somebody probably found some way to get into the system. And so update available, downloaded and verified. So it looks like it, what does it say over here, rebooting now? That's a really slow reboot. It's a very slow reboot. Sometimes this thing gets hung up and I end up rebooting, and then I find out that I really didn't have to do that because it was just doing what it needed to do, if that made any sense. So, loving my Priv, get updates on this thing all the time, constantly, and I'm very glad that I bought it. If I had to buy this phone again, I would definitely shell out the money. I shelled out a lot of money for this when it first came out, and I'm thrilled with it. I love it. Use it all the time. Very happy with it. I finally went out and bought a new video camera, and I'm going to be doing a review on that soon. So thank you to the couple of people that left some donations to help me out with my channel and getting a new camera. The other one that I've got just does not work, so it sits in the car in the glove box in case I ever need an emergency camera, but the zoom is all messed up on it and it just doesn't work, so it really needs to get dumped in the garbage can. So I'm going to be doing a review on that soon. Wow, this is a long reboot. So let me talk for a few more minutes, and if it just doesn't do anything, then I will start it up again. So what's been going on since the last month? What's been going on is really busy, very busy. Lots of stuff that I've been doing, working out. I feel really bad saying I'm working out because I just had a quart of ice cream. I know, about 2 pints of ice cream, and I ate them. I starved all day, and then I ate 2 pints of ice cream. Not really smart, but what are you going to do? If you look at my channel, I did a review, a couple of reviews of a folding bicycle, and I've been riding that bike. I signed up for the gym, and I kind of slacked off on the gym. I'm going to get back to it, but I've just got so much stuff that I'm doing. My to-do list just never seems to end, and I know you can't worry about to-do list. You got to take care of your health first. And so what I've been doing is I've been riding my bike. I get on that bike, and I posted one video of the bike ride. Nobody seemed to look at it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more, but I get on the bike path and I just crank out on that thing, and I started off at about 3 or 4 miles, and then next ride was like 5 miles or something, and it really didn't take that long to build up, but now I'm at a 20-mile round trip. And when I first did that 20-mile round trip, 10 miles each way, obviously, when I first did that, yeah, this is not right. It should have rebooted by now. When I first did it, it just seemed like it took forever. Like, when am I going to be done with this thing? Gosh, this is just taking a long time. And I just did I'm going to post a review today of a bike seat that I just bought. And I wanted to test out the bike seat to see if I was comfortable with the seat. And so I got on the bike. It was kind of cold out here. It was late in the day. It was windy and breezy. And I got on the bike just thinking my back was killing me because I've been painting my place, painting the walls, lifting the heavy ladder, riding the bike, so my back is tight, my hamstrings are tight, my hip flexors are tight. I'm just really tight. I'm always tight, but I'm really tight now. So I got on the bike thinking I'm just going to do a short ride, and I ended up doing that 20-mile round trip. And the thing that amazed me is that first 10 miles was like nothing. I got there and I went, wow, I'm already here. You know, a few weeks ago, this seemed like I was going to die doing this thing. And I got there in no time. Well, I didn't get there fast because I just don't ride fast. I don't ride to speed. I just ride to go as slow as I can and drag it out and get that heart rate going, 120 beats a minute for a couple hours. And, yeah, something's not right here. Something's just definitely not right. So I'll start that up in a minute. I'll reboot it in a minute. So I want to finish this thought. So I got there, 10 miles, and then I went and I turned around. And the thing is, I really hadn't eaten much. I ate before. I didn't eat that morning, really. And I had some oatmeal and hardly anything before I left. And I took some carbo snacks because I knew I was going to need them, and water. And after 10 miles there, I was doing okay, and on my way back after 5 miles, I just thought I couldn't make it. I didn't know. But that's the thing about pushing yourself without killing yourself. You know that you can do it if you just give yourself the reason to do it. And so I had 5 miles left, and I just didn't have the energy. I had no energy at all. But I knew I was going to get home. I just knew it was going to take me a while, so I pedaled on that thing as slow as I could, barely going anywhere, and it looked like I had no energy. And I got home. So I got home and I did that little skin pinch, the skin grab, and I could tell that I lost weight. I got on the scale and it showed that I lost a couple % body fat, which came right back the next day because a lot of it was sweat. But the neat thing is, all right, I'm just going to have to reboot this. That's really strange. I pressed on the reboot button and it just kept on taking me back to the screen. So this is very, very odd. It didn't allow me to do a hard reset or reboot, and which makes me think that maybe this is just taking forever to do the install. It's a very small install, but maybe it's just affecting a lot of different components, software components, and it's going to take a while to do. Who knows? So I'll just keep talking for a few minutes, and then if I need to, I'll try the reboot again. So the whole point is that, as far as I'm concerned, the bike riding is one of the easiest ways to lose weight. And when I'm on that bike path, I see guys out there. First off, it's kind of disgusting, because there's some people in really good shape and there's some people in not good shape, and there are these guys out there that are like 300 pounds, and they're laying on the side of the bike path with their big humongous bellies hanging out, and their skin is orange because they're dangerously sunburned. And they just think that they're the hottest things in the world, checking out the babes. And but the neat thing about the people on the bike path is they're just doing their thing. That most of us are riding by ourselves, and we're going at our own pace, and we really don't care about anybody. We're just doing our own thing, getting our exercise. And that's the beauty of it. When you go in a gym, you're sweating, you're hot, you're exhausted, you're closed in. Even with the AC, you're closed in, and it's boring. You get on that bike and you just ride and ride and ride and ride. And for me, I'm able to look at the sand and the people in the bikinis, which, believe me, when you're sweating and you're gasping for air, none of that is really that interesting. But it just puts me in a good zone where I'm able to keep going for a few hours and really get a good workout, a healthy workout. Instead of the 30-minute workout they want you to do every day, here I am out there for 3 hours pedaling. Not going fast, but 3 hours of good exercise, and it's healthy. Now, as far as bike riding, if you're thinking of doing it, some hints, some advice. I would not ride on a bike on a street, no matter what. I don't care what city you're in. They're putting bike lanes up over here all over the place, and the drivers are pissed off because they're losing their roads. And even though I've got many feet in between me and the cars, if one of those cars loses control, they're going to hit me and I'm dead. So riding a bike is good, but if you have to do it anywhere where there are vehicles, it's just not worth your life. So think about that. Here we go. Restart and install. Check that out, people. That was a long one. God, what, 6:33? How long did that take to do? 33. That took 14 minutes. That is a long time. Okay, over there it says rebooting. So 14 minutes even after it looks like it's done the download. It just takes forever to do the install. And now it's taken forever to reboot. There we are again. Now maybe something's weird here. Maybe nothing's changed. Maybe I'm still stuck in that little rebooting now. So that's what I've been doing lately. Lots of bike riding. Not a lot, a couple times a week. A couple times a week is enough. I get home, I'm ready to fall over. I'm so exhausted. But I feel really good, and the weight is definitely coming off. People look at me now and they say I'm really skinny, but I'm not. I'm slender, which it's a good thing. It feels good. It's nice to grab your sides and feel your rib cage and put on a t-shirt, and it doesn't go hanging out over your belly or over your sides, so it's a nice feeling. It looks good. But I've probably got about maybe somewhere between 2 to 6 pounds more. I've got that little flab thing right down at the belly now, at the waistline, at the belt line, and that's just not going away. And that's because there's fat, and you've got to burn all the internal fat all over the body before you... There we go. Let's restart it and see what happens. Let's see if I'm able to do an update now. This has happened before where I had to do the reboot because nothing, it just froze. So my thoughts are, I don't care what it is, get yourself out there and work out. Get yourself some exercise. I know 4 people in the last 2 months that have dropped dead of heart attacks. These people are young. They are extremely young. And they drop dead of heart attacks. Thing that I was told, all 4 of them were smokers, and you know, that's a death sentence right there. For the people that are listening to me right now, you know it's going to get you. And there's no reason for me to say anything, because if you don't have the lung cancer now, you probably are going to get the lung cancer, and then it's going to be a painful, slow, suffering end. And that's just what you signed up for in life, and that's what you want, or you would have walked away from it. So, but the thing of those 4 is all of them were also overweight, and they also did not eat well, and they didn't eat healthy, and they ate a lot of garbage, and wow. You know, you got to take your chances sometimes. Like with me, I ate that ice cream I never should have. Not a smart thing to do. Totally screwed up the blood sugar for doing that, and I'm going to be out there working it all off again, and I am working it all off. So when people say, well, you're just as bad, no, I'm not as bad, because I am taking care of myself. And I slack off sometimes, and I mess up like we all do, but I go right back and I take care of myself. So the one thing I want to leave you with is get yourself in shape. Not because you're going to look good, not because you're going to feel good, but because if you have ever watched somebody who has an illness slowly shut down, it's a really sad thing to see, and it's a sad thing to watch them suffer. And they're living it, they're suffering, and they can't really go back and say, oh wow, I wish I would have done something differently, and it's going to hit all of us, there's no doubt about it, but why put yourself through that? Why not try to take care of yourself and make it to the end without suffering, and look good in the process. There, okay, we're doing one update, one optimizing. Now we'll see if it's going to do the modules. So not really much to say this month, except the bike riding for me is working out really good. I want to thank the people who did leave the donations. If you want to help me out with my channel, I'd appreciate it. If you don't, that's okay too. I do this for everyone as well as for me. I enjoy doing this. I'm spending about 10 hours today editing and rendering video. And what else has gone on? Busy day, not that anybody cares. Busy day. What did I do? I did painting, went down to the bank, balanced my mom's bank accounts and her bills, did laundry, got a haircut, went over to my mom's house and spent some time there. She had 2 broken knobs on 2 different closets. I had bought the screws, cut them down, and put the screws on. And I saw a bunch of dust in the closets. I washed down the floors, washed down the shelves, washed down the doors. So I'm busy. I'm a busy guy. And unlike a lot of people that like to sit there and watch TV all day and play video games and sit on their cell phone all day doing nothing, you got to get out there and live, whether it's finding projects or finding cool stuff to do, or learning, or exercising. Get out there and live. Live like you might have your final day tomorrow, and you're going to be sitting in that hospital bed saying, wow, why didn't I do something yesterday, instead of fiddle my fingers on the cell phone. So that's my motivational speech for the month. I'm not getting a lot of comments lately because I know I'm pissing off a lot of people with some of the things that I say. And again, it's your life. You do what you want. And I'm not saying that I'm better than you or anybody else. You do what you want. Okay, here we go. We're going to reboot again. Start with the reboot, 653. So the whole thing took 20 minutes. Only used 6% battery. Not too bad. Let's go see what we've got here. Do we have an update? Nope, no update. So let's go over and find out where we're at. Let's go do our about. Let's do the about part of the video, or if you're in Canada, then this would be the about. The about, okay, so we're going to go to the about phone. We're going to click on this. And what do we have here? Android 6.0.1. word is, I don't know when, but word is, a few people have told me that they are going to be putting out the Nougat update. I think that's what it's called. Maybe not. I don't know what the next version is. They're going to be putting out the next version of Android, and Blackberry Priv supposedly is going to be one of the first to get it. Somebody sent me a link saying, here it is, install it, and if it was you, I would not do that. Don't mess with the, don't screw with your Android phone. It's locked down for a reason. Don't try to unlock this thing so you can be the first on the block to say, hey, I ruined my phone. It's not worth it. Android, the Blackberry Priv, they've been pushing this stuff out really fast. And this is kind of weird that it's a security patch June 5th. You know, that's just not right. I'm going to reboot this thing because this patch, we're in July, so something's really off here. And I did not write down, I don't recognize that build number, but wait for the updates to come out. Let me go reboot this sucker, and we'll finish off the video letting you know if the security patch level changed. It's cool to have updates, but it's not really worth bricking a $600 phone or whatever this thing costs nowadays. It's just not worth it. Plus, the phone works so darn good as it is. So, I don't know when you're going to get the update. I'm an AT&T customer, but I bought the phone directly from Blackberry, which means that the priority for updates goes to the people that bought directly from them and not from any one of the carriers out there. So let's do a passcode here and finish off the video that way. Hey, thumbs up, subscribe, a like. Again, if you want to leave a donation, ask for my info in a message. And you can help me out if you want to. So this whole video just took 20 minutes for the whole install thing. I know there are a few people that always write to me telling me that they did listen all the way to the end, so I appreciate that, but I know most people don't. Either way, check out my other videos if you want. I got some really cool stuff on guitar playing, fixing toilets, plumbing, painting, some nature stuff, auto show, some police events going on, paramedics, cops. Alright, one last check. Let's go see if this did anything. I don't think it's going to show anything differently, but about... Very strange. June 5th, it did not update the patch level, but it gave me the build update of AAL746. Very strange. Alright, so that's going to be my video. I'm going to post it right now. And I didn't get the July update. So now I understand what some of the people are complaining about. They didn't get a July update either. But who knows? Maybe this is the July update, but they just didn't change the month. I don't know. See you next month.